against a woman in America is beaten or abused in some sort of way. By the time I'm done with this presentation, 30 women will have been assaulted. This is a rude awakening, but for Harmony House in Springfield, Missouri, this is reality. Luckily, none of us really have to deal with that, hopefully, but for them they do. I've done much research on this organization and will be involved with it for the next 4 years with my sorority. Today we will discuss the day-to-day tasks of Harmony House, what they do, how they do it, as well as a testimony that really kind of changed my views on a lot of things, as well as how they affect the community which they're a part of. First, let's take a look at what they do on a day-to-day basis. In a recent interview with Harmony House employers, Harmony House helps to empower victims of domestic violence to live and rebuild safe, independent lives of violence. Harmony House does many things for its clients. In an online article posted by KY3 News, I learned that domestic violence has gone from 9,000 to 10,000 people living out of shelter, so not getting any type of care. And this is it's not good for the domestic violence victims, and Harmony House is trying to influence a lot of different shelters to start catering to domestic violence victims. Harmony House has 110 beds that they give out to victims and their families if needed, and they can come and do whatever they need to do to get better, and the Harmony House will give them everything. Like if they don't even have a toothbrush, they'll give them toothbrushes, clothes, whatever they need. This nonprofit organization has several different programs for people in the house and out of the house to come and help them. In a 2011 or 2012 seminar, Night of Unity, hosted by the Harmony House, I learned that the Harmony House helps to brighten the lives of victims of domestic violence, both living in the house and not living in the house. Case management programs are a big part of the programs that they provide, because most of these people aren't legally educated in any way, and so they need help if they want to go the legal route. It'll help them. In a 2012 online study held by the Bureau of Justice Statistics, I read that 1/3 of domestic violence, or 1/3 of crimes, are domestic violence. That doesn't include any type of sexual crimes. It's solely domestic violence, and most of these people do not have no idea how to deal with it legally, so they help them. There are also family value classes to teach them how to rebuild a household that's not impacted by violence. There are several programs to help encourage the victims of this crime to come out and tell their stories. I learned at the Harmony House Night of Unity 2012 that it's crazy how many domestic violence victims there are just here in Springfield. And one of the stories that stood out to me the most was one acted through role play, because it's highly confidential information. So they are acted through role play from actors, and it was a story about a mother and her 2 sons. And the 2 sons had watched their mom get beaten all the way from growing up. So the younger of the 2 sons started hitting the mom too, and the older son started beating up the younger son and put him in the hospital. And this really impacted me, because it made me realize that it's not easy to get out of, and it affects everybody. Harmony House improves the lives of all those with domestic violence, as well as the community. There's many volunteer programs offered by Harmony House, and you can volunteer your skills. If you are a psychology major, you can go and help teach classes, or if you just want to be helpful and go help out at the kitchen, you can volunteer your time. And if you can't do any of that, you can volunteer and just send donations and do that. Harmony House also has public affairs missions that they can do. So the Harmony House had the Night of Unity, you go, you pay, and the money goes to their proceeds so that they can provide stuff for other people. Harmony House is a wonderful place. It takes sadness and turns it around. As told by one of my sorority sisters in a recent interview, the Harmony House affects everybody involved in such positive ways, and I could not imagine volunteering my time anywhere else. Today we discussed the average day at Harmony House and what they do. We talked about the testimony that changed my views on this crime, and we talked about how they affect their community. Harmony House is thriving, and I can't wait to see what happens next.